And joining us now is Thomas Kelly, a professor of theology at Creighton University. Thomas, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Thomas, this is the first U.S.-born pope. Can you talk about how significant that is? I mean, this is a big deal.
Yes. Um, he is U.S. born, the son of immigrants from Italy and Spain, and basically has spent much of his life and much of his career outside of the country, speaks 6 languages. And so I think that probably the way the church perceives him is more global than perhaps American. Obviously, that's important, but he's also, for example, a national of Peru. He has citizenship there as well. So, truly a global pope with roots in the United States.
Professor, what sort of differences can we expect or similarities with this new pope compared to Pope Francis?
I think you can see, I think we will see a different style. I think he's a bit more discreet. He works a little more quietly. At the same time, taking the name of Leo XIV, the last pope that did that, basically initiated Catholic social teaching in a formal way, which was very important for the church, and really cared about the poor. His time in Peru, especially in the areas where he was active, would have been a place where he dealt with a lot of poverty and a lot of migration internally in the country. And so I think that we'll see those as similarities to Francis.
And as far as conclaves go, you would say we typically see it take longer to elect a new pope, right?
Yeah, this was, again, about as short as Francis. Francis was around 24 hours, and this Pope, Leo XIV, was just over. And I think that's particularly important, right? I mean, he started his address with where Francis left off by saying, "Peace be with you." That was literally the last thing Francis said and the first thing Leo said. And the fact that he was the head of the dicastery for bishops, choosing other bishops, and was the first cardinal to welcome women into that process, I think is really important. So the fact that this happened so quickly is very interesting.
Professor, I'm curious, we obviously have a new archbishop in Omaha, Mr. McGovern. Do you think there was any vetting or any ties with Leo XIV in that selection process?
I do. I mean, Leo XIV is from Chicago. It's a small world. Bishop McGovern was probably vetted by at least his team and then given the final approval by the current pope. So that's a great sign for Omaha.
All right, big things happening. Professor Kelly, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.